You trust the cream cheese in your fridge. The label says simple. The brand looks familiar. But 9 of Canada's most popular cream cheese brands are hiding gut-destroying gums, dangerously high sodium, and chemical preservatives quietly wrecking your kidneys. One was actually recalled by the CFIA. Stay with me. Coming in at number 9, we have Great Value Cream Cheese. Walmart's store brand. It is cheap. It is everywhere. And that is exactly the problem. Great Value Cream Cheese is packed with modified milk ingredients instead of real cream. Turn that tub around and you will find a long list of stabilizers, gums, and fillers designed to mimic creaminess without actually being cream. The texture feels slick and slightly rubbery. Nothing like what real cream cheese is supposed to feel like on your tongue. That smooth, cool richness you expect, replaced by something that slides across the roof of your mouth like soft plastic. And here is what matters for anyone over 50. This product contains sodium levels that creep past what you would expect for a small serving. If you are on blood pressure medication, or your doctor told you to watch your salt, that innocent-looking tub is working against you every single morning at breakfast. Great Value markets itself as a smart, budget-friendly choice. But when the ingredient list reads more like a chemistry experiment than a dairy product, you have to ask yourself what you are really saving. The sodium alone, spread across a bagel every day, adds up fast. And for seniors managing hypertension or kidney health, that daily habit becomes a slow, invisible risk. The average Canadian over 50 already consumes roughly 2,760 milligrams of sodium per day, well above the recommended limit. And your cream cheese is quietly contributing to that number without you ever noticing. The label says cream cheese. The truth is, it barely qualifies. At number 8, we have no-name cream cheese. Loblaw's yellow label brand. You have seen it in every grocery store from coast to coast. No Name is positioned as the no-frills option. Simple, affordable, no pretense. But look closer. The ingredient list includes modified milk ingredients, bacterial culture, salt, and a lineup of gums including xanthan gum and carob bean gum. These are stabilizers used to fake a creamy texture that real, high-quality cream cheese achieves naturally with just cream, culture, and salt. Now here's the part they do not advertise. Studies have shown that certain food gums, especially when consumed regularly, can irritate the gut lining. For seniors dealing with digestive sensitivity, IBS, or anyone on medications that affect the stomach, that daily spread of no-name cream cheese could be quietly making things worse. The gut inflammation is not dramatic. You will not feel it right away. But over weeks and months, it adds up. Bloating, discomfort, irregular digestion. And the worst part? You would never connect it to your cream cheese. You would blame it on aging. You would blame it on stress. But sometimes, the answer is sitting right there in your fridge, hiding behind a yellow label that promises simplicity but delivers something else entirely. Scoop some onto a spoon and really look at it. The surface is too glossy, too consistent. Real cream cheese has a matte finish and a slight graininess that tells you it is made from actual milk solids. No Name's version looks polished, almost waxy. That is the gum. That is what you are tasting every morning and calling breakfast. But this is nothing compared to what is coming at number 5. Now at number 7, we have Compliments Cream Cheese, Sobeys in-house brand. Compliments positions itself as a step above generic. Better packaging, nicer labels, the suggestion of quality. But peel back the marketing and the ingredient list tells a very different story. Modified milk ingredients, gums, stabilizers. The same cost-cutting playbook as the other store brands, just dressed up a little nicer. What is particularly deceptive here is the word original, printed right on the front of the package. It implies simplicity. It implies tradition. But real original cream cheese, the kind your grandmother might have known, was made with cream, milk, culture, and salt. Period. Compliments adds thickeners to cut costs and extends shelf life. And that extended shelf life comes at a price your body pays. Sorbic acid, a common preservative in these products, is used to prevent mold growth. While it is approved by Health Canada, some research has flagged concerns about its effects on gut bacteria over time. The very bacteria that seniors depend on for proper digestion and nutrient absorption. When you are over 50, your gut microbiome is already more vulnerable. Adding preservatives that may disrupt it further is a gamble most people do not even know they are taking. You trust the word original. The ingredient list tells you that trust is misplaced. If staying informed about what is really in your food matters to you, hit subscribe right now. It is free, and it means you will never miss these exposés. Coming in at number 6, Black Diamond Cream Cheese. A name Canadians have trusted for decades. Black Diamond has built its entire reputation on being a legacy Canadian dairy brand. And that is exactly what makes this one sting. Their cream cheese spread contains modified milk ingredients, salt, bacterial culture, and a blend of stabilizing gums. The taste is decent, tangy enough, smooth enough, but the ingredient list is not what you would expect from a brand that markets itself as a proud Canadian dairy tradition. Here's a statistic that should concern anyone watching their sodium. A single serving of some cream cheese spreads contains between 100 and 150 milligrams of sodium. That might not sound like much, but Canadians over 50 already consume well above the recommended limit of 2,300 milligrams per day, and far beyond the ideal target of 1,500 for people with high blood pressure. Cream cheese is rarely eaten in just one serving. Spread it thick on a bagel, add it to a recipe, snack on it with crackers, and suddenly you have consumed 3 or 4 servings without thinking twice. For anyone on ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, or diuretics, that hidden sodium is directly undermining your medication. You take your pills every morning to keep your blood pressure in check. Then you spread sodium all over your breakfast without realizing. Your doctor told you to reduce salt. You thought you were being careful. You skipped the chips. You stopped adding salt at the table. But nobody warned you about the cream cheese. Nobody told you that 2 tablespoons could contain more sodium than a handful of pretzels. The brand says trust. The label says something else entirely. One of the brands still left on this list did something with their product that regulators actually had to step in and pull it off shelves. Keep watching. Is it not strange how the brands your family has trusted for generations keep cutting corners with cheaper ingredients, but somehow the price never goes down? Drop a comment and let me know what you think. At number 5, Tre Stelle Cream Cheese. Tre Stelle brands itself with an Italian flair, premium sounding, imported feel, the kind of product that looks like it belongs at a dinner party. But here is the reality. Tre Stelle cream cheese sold in Canada still relies on modified milk ingredients and stabilizers to achieve that smooth, spreadable texture. The Italian name and elegant packaging create an expectation of artisanal quality. What you get is the same industrial approach as the store brands, just at a higher price point. And here is the real issue for seniors. When you pay more, you assume you are getting better. You assume fewer additives. You assume cleaner ingredients. But Tre Stelle does not deliver on that promise. The gums and thickeners are still there, hiding behind a name that sounds like it. Should be made in a small Italian creamery. The texture feels almost too smooth, unnaturally even, because it is engineered, not crafted. That slippery, almost plastic consistency comes from stabilizers doing the work that real cream is supposed to do. You can feel it on the knife when you spread it. It glides too easily. Real cream cheese has a slight resistance, a natural density that tells you it is made from actual dairy. This has none of that. It is designed in a factory to feel premium on your tongue. But your gut does not care about the branding. It reacts to what is actually inside. And what is inside is the same industrial formula you would find in a product costing half as much. The premium label is a costume. Underneath, the same shortcuts, the same fillers, the same disregard for what your body actually needs. There are 2 brands that actually got it right. Clean ingredients, no gums, no games. We will reveal them, but not yet. Not until after you hear what number 1 did. Number 4 is President's Choice Cream Cheese, Loblaw's premium line. President's Choice has built an empire on the idea that store brand can be gourmet, and in many categories, they deliver. But their cream cheese is a different story entirely. PC cream cheese contains the same modified milk ingredients, gums, and stabilizing agents found in their budget. No name line. The packaging is nicer, the branding is sleeker, the price is higher, but the core product is strikingly similar. This is what we call label theater. The green packaging, the sophisticated font, the carefully worded, made with real cream claim. All of it is designed to make you feel like you are buying something premium. But when you compare the actual ingredients side by side with no name, the overlap is hard to ignore. For seniors who shop at Loblaws and specifically choose PC because they believe it is better, this is a betrayal of trust. You are paying more for packaging, not for purity. And here is where it gets personal. If you are managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, the modified milk ingredients in these products can contain hidden lactose and added sugars that do not always show up clearly on the nutrition panel. Your blood sugar does not care about the brand name. It reacts to what is actually in the food. And what is in this cream cheese is not what the label wants you to believe. You pick up the PC tub because the green packaging makes you feel responsible. You put it in your cart thinking you made the smart choice. But smart would be flipping it over and reading the back. The difference between the no-name tub and the PC tub? About $2 and a nicer shade of green. The ingredients inside are nearly identical, and your pancreas cannot tell the difference. Now, if you are wondering what you should actually be buying instead, we will get to that. There are 2 cream cheese options that passed every test. Clean ingredients, low sodium, no gums. We will reveal them at the very end of this video. Keep watching. At number 3, Western Creamery Cream Cheese. Now owned by Gay Lea Foods, Western Creamery has been around for over 60 years. Toronto-based, Canadian-made, loyal following among home bakers across the country. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Legacy does not equal quality. Western Creamery cream cheese contains bacterial culture, salt, and stabilizing gums. For a brand that has been around since the 1960s, you would expect the recipe to reflect a simpler time in food manufacturing. Instead, it has evolved in the same direction as every other mass-produced cream cheese, toward cost efficiency, longer shelf life, texture shortcuts. And here is a detail most people miss. Cream cheese that relies on gums for texture tends to behave differently in your body than cream cheese made with just cream and culture. The gums pass through your digestive system largely undigested. For most people, this is not a problem in small amounts, but for seniors with compromised gut health, and research shows that gut permeability increases naturally with age. These undigested gum particles can contribute to low-grade inflammation. You will not see it on a blood test right away, but over time, chronic low-grade gut inflammation has been linked to worsening outcomes in heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. A 2019 review published in the journal Nutrients found that increased intestinal permeability in older adults correlates with higher inflammatory markers in the blood. Your body is already fighting to keep inflammation under control, and every morning, you might be adding fuel to that fire without even knowing it. Open the container and look at the surface. It is too uniform, too perfect. Real cream cheese made with simple ingredients has slight variations in texture, tiny imperfections, natural density. Western Creamery's cream cheese looks manufactured because it is. Press your finger into the surface and it gives way too evenly, like pressing into a sponge. That is not dairy. That is gum, doing what cream should have been doing all along. 60 years of history. And somehow, the ingredients got worse, not better. That is not tradition. That is erosion dressed up as heritage. And here is a question worth asking. If this brand changed its recipe over the decades to include more gums and fillers, what exactly were they replacing? The answer is cream, the most expensive ingredient, the one that actually makes cream cheese worth eating. They replaced real dairy with industrial shortcuts and hoped you would not notice. For 60 years, you did not. Now you know. Why do you think Canadian dairy companies keep adding gums and fillers to products that used to be made with 3 ingredients? Is it about quality or profit margins? Tell me in the comments. Number 2 is Kraft Philadelphia Cream Cheese, the most recognized cream cheese brand in the world. In Canada, Philadelphia sits on nearly every grocery store shelf. It is the default, the one most people grab without thinking. And that is exactly the problem. Philadelphia's Canadian formulation includes cream, evaporated skim milk, salt, bacterial culture, carob bean gum, guar gum, lactic acid, and xanthan gum. That is 3 separate gums in a single product. 3 stabilizers to engineer a texture that real, high-quality cream cheese achieves with just cream and culture. Now, let us talk about what those gums actually do once they are inside your body. Carob bean gum, guar gum, and xanthan gum are all classified as soluble fibers. In large or frequent doses, they can cause bloating, gas, and digestive discomfort, symptoms that many seniors already struggle with and often blame on aging rather than on their food. Here's a number that should make you pause. Over 70% of Canadian households have purchased Philadelphia cream cheese at least once in the past year. That is millions of people consuming a product with 3 industrial gums, daily, weekly, without ever questioning what those ingredients are doing to their gut. The brand says, made with real cream. And that is true, but it is also made with guar gum, the same substance used in industrial applications like hydraulic fracturing fluid. It is also used as a laxative in high doses. And it is in your breakfast. Open the tub and smell it. That faintly chemical, almost synthetic tang underneath the dairy. That is not cream. That is processing. You can see it too. The surface of real cream cheese has slight imperfections. Natural texture. Philadelphia's surface is almost unnervingly smooth, like it was poured from a machine. Because it was. Philadelphia is the cream cheese Canadians trust the most. And that trust is exactly what makes this one so dangerous. You assume it is the best because it is the biggest. But bigger has never meant cleaner. It has meant more efficient, more profitable, and more willing to use whatever it takes to keep that texture consistent. From coast to coast, even if it means filling your breakfast with industrial thickeners. For anyone taking medications for acid reflux or digestive issues, those 3 gums can actively work against your treatment. Your doctor prescribed something to calm your gut. Philadelphia is doing the opposite. 3 gums, 1 tub, and millions of Canadians who never thought to question it. Think about that for a moment. The most popular cream cheese in the country is also one of the most heavily engineered. Every spoonful has been designed in a facility to deliver a specific texture at the lowest possible cost. The cream is real. Everything else around it is a performance. And your digestive system is paying the ticket price every single morning. We are almost at number 1. And trust me, this one is going to change the way you shop. But more importantly, the 2 safe cream cheese brands are coming right after. The ones that actually use clean, simple ingredients. Do not go anywhere. And coming in at number 1, the worst offender on this entire list, Lactantia cream cheese. This is the one that shocked even us. Lactantia is made by Lactalis, one of the largest dairy corporations on the planet. They market themselves as a trusted Canadian dairy name. You see Lactantia butter, cream, and milk in every grocery store in the country. The brand feels safe, it feels familiar, it feels Canadian. But here's what happened. In August 2025, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency issued a recall on Lactantia original cream cheese. The reason? Off odor and off taste. The recall covered products distributed across Alberta, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Quebec, and Saskatchewan. That is nearly every province in the country. Let that sink in. Product that millions of Canadians trust, that sits in fridges from Halifax to Calgary, was pulled because something was wrong with how it smelled and tasted. The CFIA classified it as a Class 3 recall. Now imagine this. You are 72 years old. Your sense of smell is not what it used to be. And research confirms that olfactory function declines significantly after age 60. You open that tub of Lactantia cream cheese. You spread it on your toast. You do not notice the off smell because your nose simply cannot detect it the way it once could. You eat it, maybe twice, maybe for a week before you hear about the recall, if you hear about it at all. That is the real danger. Recalls are meaningless if the people most at risk, seniors with diminished senses, never find out in time. How many 70-year-olds are checking the CFIA recall database every morning before breakfast? Almost none. They are trusting the brand. They are trusting the store. And both let them down. And beyond the recall, the standard Lactantia cream cheese formula contains the same modified milk ingredients, gums, and stabilizers found throughout this list. The recall was just the visible tip. Underneath, the same problems exist. Industrial fillers, engineered textures, and a brand name designed to make you feel safe, while the ingredient list tells a very different story. The CFIA recall database lists hundreds of dairy-related incidents every year. Over 60% of food recalls in Canada are related to undeclared allergens or contamination. And yet, these brands stay on the shelves. They keep running the same ads. They keep using the same packaging. And Canadians keep buying them. Because trust is a powerful thing. until it is broken. And Lactantia broke it. If you are watching this right now and you have a tub of Lactantia in your refrigerator, go check the best before date. Check the CFIA website. Do not assume your store pulled it in time. Do not assume someone would have told you, because the system is not designed to protect you first. It is designed to protect the brand first. And your health is your responsibility now. That is the part no one wants to say out loud. But it is the truth. The recall proved it. The ingredient list confirms it. And the silence from the company tells you everything you need to know. Lactalis is a multinational giant. They produce dairy in over 40 countries. They have the resources to ensure quality control at every stage. And yet, a product with off odor and off taste made it all the way to store shelves across nearly every province. That is not a one-time mistake. That is a system that prioritizes volume over vigilance. A system where the consumer is the last line of defense. And when that consumer is a senior with declining senses, the defense falls apart completely. Have you ever opened a tub of cream cheese and noticed something off about the smell or taste, but ate it anyway? You are not alone. Drop that story in the comments. Remember when I said there were 2 cream cheese brands that actually passed every test? Here they are. The first safe option is Organic Meadow Cream Cheese, Ontario-based, certified organic, non-GMO. And here is what matters most. The ingredient list is short enough to read in one breath. Organic milk, bacterial culture, salt, and enzymes. That is it. No gums, no stabilizers, no modified milk ingredients, no preservatives, no xanthan, no carob bean gum, no guar gum. Just real dairy, made the way cream cheese was always supposed to be made. Organic Meadow uses milk from pasture-raised cows that are never treated with synthetic hormones or antibiotics. For seniors managing blood pressure, kidney health, or digestive sensitivity, this is the cleanest option on Canadian shelves. The sodium is minimal. The ingredients are transparent. And the taste, rich, tangy, genuinely creamy, proves that you do not need industrial fillers to make great cream cheese. You can smell the difference the moment you open the container. It smells like dairy, not chemicals, not processing. Just clean, honest cream cheese. The texture is slightly firmer than the gum-filled brands. And that is how you know it is real. Real cream cheese holds its shape. It does not slide off the knife. It does not feel like spreading lotion on bread. It feels like food, because it is food, not a chemistry project. The second safe option is Liberté Cream Cheese. Made in Montreal, clean ingredients. Liberté has built its reputation on minimal processing and high-quality dairy, and their cream cheese lives up to it. The ingredient list is simple: cream, skim milk, bacterial culture, and salt. No gums, no artificial preservatives, no modified milk ingredients hiding behind vague terminology. Liberté is widely available across Canada, which means you do not have to hunt for it at specialty stores. It is right there in the dairy aisle, next to the brands on this avoid list. The texture is what cream cheese should feel like: dense, slightly firm, naturally creamy without being slippery or artificial. Spread it on a bagel and you will feel the difference immediately. This is what real cream cheese tastes like when nobody is. Cutting corners. The tang is natural. The richness is earned. You do not get that artificial slickness that coats your mouth and lingers. You get clean, simple dairy that tastes the way cream cheese tasted before corporations decided profit mattered more than your health. For anyone who felt that familiar sting watching this countdown, that moment where you realized the brand you trusted was not being honest with you, this is your answer. Earlier I told you there was a simple way to protect yourself. This is it. Read the ingredient list. If it has more than 5 ingredients, put it back. If it contains gums or modified milk ingredients, put it back. If it needs a preservative to survive on the shelf, it does not deserve to be in your fridge. You just learned what 9 cream cheese brands are hiding. Subscribe now, so you never get blindsided again.